welcome to Freight Logistics Hub podcast, where we discuss the historical developments of freight logistics in East Africa and the world at large. I'm your host, George Kidenda. Today, we welcome you to the regional roundtable, where we will explore issues shaping the future of East Africa integration. Specifically, we will delve into a major development from Tanzania that has sent shockwaves across the freight forwarding logistics industry. As of the 28th of July 2025, Tanzania has officially prohibited non-citizens from engaging in clearing and forwarding services. With us today are 4 regional logistics leaders who I would like to refer to as elders. We have Mr. John Bosco Rusagara from Rwanda, Mr. Charles Kareba from Uganda, Mr. Sam Joroge from Kenya, and together with them we have the president of the Federation of East African Freight Forwarders, FEAFFA, Mr. Charles Mebe Mbezi. Together, they bring over 130 years of combined experience in international logistics, regional cooperation, and customs affairs. And the question that we're asking today is, what does Tanzania's move mean for East Africa's common market? What does it mean for the African continental free trade area and for the dream of one East Africa region? Welcome. Let us start with first reactions. Mr. Rusagara, you have been around and you've seen the rise of regional trade from days before the East African Customs Union. How do you interpret this Tanzanian regulation?
The TZ decision is indicative of a move that is the conflict with the objective of the Common Market Protocol implementation. It's basically the divergence from the objectives of the EAC Common Market Protocol, which is against Article 11 of the EAC Treaty and the community laws. These acts of imposing the said regulations disrupt the flow of trade within EAC partner states by creating NTBs. These actions are imprudent violation of the protocol of the establishment of the East African Community Common Market. The same article provides that the partner states shall prohibit any practice that adversely affects free movement of people and goods, including any agreements, undertakings, or concerted practice which has as its objective or effect the prevention, restriction, or distortion of competition within the community. As you may or may not be aware, TZ is a member of the WTO, the COMESA, and the EAC. Under these arrangements, TZ has entirely committed to measures that facilitate free movement of people, goods, and transit trade, while promoting domestic trade through removal of non-tariff barriers. These commitments are cited under Article 4 and 49 of the COMESA Treaty, Article 79 of the EAC Treaty, and Article 13 of the EAC Customs Union Protocol. Therefore, The restriction of movement of people and trade arbitrarily or by mounting barriers along trade transit routes is against international and regional commitments that TZ is party to. Suffice it to say that it's an economic evil with a view of having it reviewed and removed altogether. To do so shall amount to averting an act that not only distorts business, but also causes an alarming and unwarranted disharmony within the existing trade usage and the protocol. I submit John Bosco Sagara, Ambassador.
Now, when we started doing things like this, you wonder whether really we have the intention to integrate. And again, for instance, I'm on the board of the Central Corridor, George, and the Central Corridor has invited Malawi and Zambia to join the Central Corridor. So now the Central Corridor has 7 countries. Who benefits if all these tax barriers, non-tariff barriers are removed with those 7 countries that are part of the Central Corridor? It is Tanzania.
Mm-hmm.
It is the port of Dar es Salaam. But now you are telling us, give us your cargo, but we don't want you. You don't want me, but give us your cargo.
Mm-hmm.
My experience, because I worked in Dar es Salaam for 8 years, up to today, George,
Yeah.
if you think of, if you had the facilities they have, you have the port, you have the railway to Mwanza, and you cross Lake Victoria to deliver to Kampala. How to do it in 3 days? Why can't they do it in 11 days?
Yes.
Because even the work attitude in Tanzania, I'm very sorry. There is no hurry. Nimechoka, wacha nikalale kidogo. We had similar problems, and the president of Tanzania came here. George, I addressed her, and she took a pen and a piece of paper, and she was writing. The issues that I raised, she gave us answers after my address.
Okay.
And she committed herself to waive those things. Because if I'm to go to Tanzania as a clearing agent from Uganda, I don't say I'm a clearing agent. I'm saying I'm a tourist so that I pay less money to enter. The minute you say you're a clearing agent, I think it's about $500. Now, that is a service that is across borders. Instead of saying welcome, no, you don't want me. But at the same time, you want my cargo. Why should somebody in Moshi import goods through Dar es Salaam when he can import them from Mombasa and he gets them the same day? So these are the things that are going to cause to go back to closing borders.
Okay.
They used to charge any truck from outside a flat rate of $500. We fought it, and we were lucky. Rwanda gave them 6 days.
Okay.
Told them, we charge you, whether you charge us that or you're also paying $500. Trucks were stranded at the border, and the days were running out. They agreed the same day that they are going to charge Rwanda $152. We are trying to avoid those sort of actions in East Africa. Retaliatory, measures. If we also said, like, okay, your truck will not, your truck will not enter Rwanda, though it is carrying my cargo, what will happen? Are you facilitating trade or you are frustrating it?
You're going to hear more about this. We are going to hear more about this. Let's hear from Sam Njoroge. Sam, you have led us up to FEAFFA level.
Yeah.
What do you have to say about this development?
It's shocking, George. And before I go into it, even the setup of the East African Federation of Freight Forwarders was about the movement of people, services, and goods. Because within the region, without the movement of the cargo from all over side, the products of Eastern Africa together as one, then we do not have a community. We decided to go into this because our peoples are one in spirit. And we have to move some goods that we produce from Tanzania, from Uganda, from Rwanda. And that's how we founded, and we thought the second community should be able to give a wonderful spirit of togetherness. I think this is the Tanzanians' move. If you look at the port of Mombasa, where the northern Tanzania is being served from the port of Mombasa, and even some companies or forwarding companies have joint ventures between Tanzanians and Kenyans. How are you going to divorce a wife and husband within East Africa because of a country? Some decisions the wrong decisions that are being made. The protocols are being broken. The spirit of East African community is being destroyed at the heart by the move of Tanzania. We have been with the Tanzanians throughout what we do in Port of Mombasa. We have accommodated everybody. They can open businesses when they want. I know certain companies, for instance, that both the Tanzanians and Kenyans spirit. Some directors of this side are Kenyans, the other ones are Tanzanians. That is the kind of a move that we look at. If I look at the protocols that joined the East African community, Tanzania seems to be moving a negative move, almost by spirit. And we condemn this in the strongest terms. We request, and I request, that even where I have been on FEAFFA, the reason for FEAFFA is to put the countries of the world together, and we trade together. And we open the region, the globe as a training place. We cannot open the world as a trading place and then we cross the East African community by restricting trading licenses to other nations of East African community. For instance, if you go to Uganda, it's open. You can open any country. I have a company called Safari Cargo in Uganda. And it's a free thing. And I'm not competing. I'm competing favorably with the Ugandans. So if at all Tanzania decides to shoot the community from the back, then I can see the breaking of the spirit of the East African community. And I'll request that they move from that, please. That is my position.
Thank you so much. Now I'll invite the president of FEAFFA, Mr. Charles Mbembezi. Charles, as the chairman as the president of FEAFFA and a leader in the Uganda Freight Forwarders Association, can you unpack what are the legal implications of this decision that has been made by Tanzania?
Yeah, thank you, George, and the rest of the colleagues. Yes, George, I think this is a very tough time for some of us at the helm of EAC now, because we are being hit left and right. The gospel that we have been spreading, it seems somebody has punched in some holes. But now to get back to the question about, there are so many legal provisions that are being interfered with. And my question, before I go through them, is the why. The question is why. Now, when you look at the Article 5.2 and Article 75 of the EAC Treaty, it commits partner states to the establishment of a common market, which provides for free movement of goods, persons, services, labor, and capital, and the right of establishment. That one already is being broken.
Yeah.
Article 7 affirms the operational principles of the community, and one of them is the removal of barriers to trade and movement. If I can go ahead, there is Article 13.5 and 13.11 of the EAC Common Market Protocol, which prohibits partner states from imposing restrictions on the right of establishment of nationals, from other partner states, unless such measures are duly justified on grounds of public policy, public security, or public health, and subject to prior notification to the EAC Secretariat and other partner states. So it is very clear. If we have changed the game, there should be procedures that we should have gone through. So our colleagues in TZ have not done that, and therefore it means that there is something that is not being done very well, and possibly they should be reminded, because these are laws that we all subscribe to under the EAC fraternity, and therefore if one wakes up and does the reverse, then there should be something that is not right. So at this point, we are not sure whether any of those justifications have been presented and proved to that effect.
Okay. Now you've said
then,
that.
The other article that is relevant is Article 16 and 17 of Common Market Protocol, enshrines the right of free movement of services and prohibits less favorable treatment of service suppliers from other partner states. Article 21 bars partner states from adopting measures that negate the objectives of the common market. So they are all all legal provisions that have been broken, and therefore there is a cause to worry.
So I noticed that even if they were to change, there should be notice periods.
Yes.
In this instance, have we been given any transition periods? Is there room for the business people to adjust? Because what I'm seeing is that 28th of July, bang.
Yeah, ban. They are saying that at the expiry of the current licenses, then there is no more renewal. Now, these licenses, maybe there is somebody whose license has expired today, which means the business has collapsed already, because I don't think they are giving any plan B. So to me, the businesses will collapse because people have not been given alternative.
Let me go back to John Rusagara. How is this impacting Rwanda's access to the port of Dar es Salaam? John?
It does, but of recent, I think Rwanda had realized it prematurely and advised its clearing agents and importers at least to give Mombasa 80% of their imports and the remaining 20% to Dar. And I think that is what's going on right now. But based on TZ is Ujama hangover and the multiple membership commitments taken in the context of various integration agenda by them, I don't see them really changing.
Okay.
So in whatever we are planning, I think we should plan without including them, because you agree on something today and tomorrow they do other things. I remember one time we were in a ministerial conference in Arusha with your current Speaker of the Senate, Mr. King, or Honorable King. So we said, look, I think this is enough. We are tired of this Arusha business where the host country doesn't take decisions. Maybe we should move the headquarters to Nairobi or Kampala. And when the meeting was over, they invited others for reception, and for us, we are given Marafuku, 8 hours to leave, and they went. So when it comes to their name, they don't joke. But we have an alternative. I don't see why I should continue begging them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was there when the original East African community collapsed. Now, it started with small things, and you thought these would be sorted out. One by one, one by one, one by one, and eventually the whole thing came down. Because, as you are saying, on one side, we have people who are looking at even bigger than East African community. They are looking at the African free trade.
Yes.
But then you have an individual country in a smaller block, trading block, going the other way. What does that mean? Is that same person committed about African free trade? I think the answer is no. The answer is no. And, you know, it is so painful, George, when you remember how free we used to move without borders at Maraba, how without borders at Mutukura, how borders, and trucks were moving. There was nobody to stop them. I remember would load a truck in Mombasa and the documents would come by air. The truck would find the documents in Kampala. On the way, nobody asked that truck, where are you going, where are you coming from? But I thought we were going back to that. But now even a small industry like clearing and forwarding, because the next thing you are going to go to transport. No trucks, foreign trucks allowed in Tanzania. The next thing I mean, I'm lost of words, seriously.
What amazes?
But because you see, George, at the same time, remember, Tanzania joined when we were in the middle of the heat of the East African community integration.
Yes.
They again joined SADC. What was the motive? They said they don't want to be part of COMESA. They're in the heart of them. All the member states around it are members of COMESA. It really beats me. And as I said, you know, we are doing so many things at the Central Corridor to improve roads, to improve, you know, yesterday, Central Corridor was presenting new wagons they have presented to Tanzania areas yesterday. Yes, sir.
And we were working on this. Remember, we were working on this way back We had those
Yes.
meetings in Dar es Salaam, in Arusha, working on the road transport policies and everything else. What amazes me, Charles, is that Tanzania is blessed. I think it is the only country in East Africa that has almost 8 neighbors.
Yes.
You
Yes.
have you have Mozambique, you have Malawi,
Yes.
you have Zambia,
Yes.
you have
Yes.
DRC, you have Burundi, you have Rwanda, you have
Rwanda.
Uganda, you have Kenya.
Yes.
And they have,
and you have Indian Ocean.
And they have the headquarters of the East African Community.
Yes.
But they don't stand for it. Because
No.
the decisions that I'm seeing here, the policies that are being implemented, rightly tells us that they are not interested in the East African community. They are more for Tanzania than for the East African community. Let me
But
hear.
then you see, George.
Yes, yes.
You are developing an SGR.
Yes.
For what? To go where? What will it carry?
Mm-hmm.
What will it carry? Okay, you have it.
Mm-hmm.
You are talking about passengers within Tanzania. That's why you are building an SGR? Really?
And they don't want you to go into their farms and buy anything. And yet they want to sell their products into your country. Who is going to sell them?
George, I asked her a question. They had refused Uganda milk.
Yes.
To go into Tanzania.
Mm.
And I asked the High Excellency, I said, I want you to look around.
Mm.
These Ugandans who are in this room, does any of them look sick? Because I'm sure every Ugandan who is here had a cup of tea with milk in it this morning before coming here. And she said somebody, a professor, convinced them that the Uganda milk was toxic. And she said that has been reversed from today.
Does it?
I mean, you can look at it. Now, somebody just somewhere, because he's a professor, he tells you something and you wholesomely, you are as if you have no other advisors. And that was reversed that day.
It was reversed.
Because, yeah.
Let's hear for Sam Njoroge. Sam, we missed you. We are still on integration. Your comments, please.
Yes, thank you again. Sorry, my engineers on this side. Now, my comments are simple and clear. When you start loosening the grip of East African community because of small grievances, and when you do not want to work towards the integration by scattering the spirit, then it means we are getting out of this community. I'm sorry to say that, because in the first space, we have a lot of our own people in Tanzania who are licensed workers. Now, when you tell them that from tomorrow, your licenses are cancelled, and their trucks are there, and the other trucks are in the port of Mombasa, what does that mean to the community? For that matter, I would like to suggest that Tanzania goes through the Secretariat first and gives us 180 days. That is my request, in which the countries will be able to discuss these issues before this implementation of this rule, of these requirements that have been put. Failure to that, then I don't see which direction we are going with the community, because we have Kenya has allowed them, Tanzania, Rwanda, and then all of a sudden they have stopped the movement. If you go to the borders of between from Mombasa to Taveta, already some trucks are there, and those licenses are there from Kenyans are there. When you say no more trading without giving due time for negotiations, even with the East African Community Secretariat first and the ministerial level. So what does that mean, George? It means that you have started breaking the protocols and rules of the procedure. I will request, and I would like to say this. Let us first of all go into the East African Secretariat. Let's go into country level at the ministerial level before implementation of this requirement by Tanzania. Otherwise, it's breaking the spirit of the East African community. Those are my comments.
Thank you so much. I'd like to give Charles again the opportunity to, what is your message to the Tanzania government?
George, I also want to look at the setup of the Secretariat in Arusha. I think they have a legal department.
Yes.
What is the purpose of that legal department at the Secretariat? We also have the head of customs and trade. What is his role at the Secretariat? If the Secretariat is also to prove its worth, those are the things they should jump on before even we start thinking about them. We outside. They're the ones who should be now telling us, so far we have done this, so far we have done this, so don't panic.
So the challenge is to the Secretariat.
The Secretariat, because we are not getting any information from them. What are they thinking?
Yep.
Then too, because remember, when something is gazetted, it has been asserted too by the boss. It has gone through Parliament, and it has been, now it is, so which means, and normally the licenses in Tanzania for cricket, they renew them in September. So you have only August to remove whatever you have in there. Is that practical?
This is getting more interesting. I don't think we'll be able to finish this here today. I'm very grateful that you are able to make time for us to have this discussion, and we need to discuss it more. I'm hoping that the next time we are going to have this discussion, we will also have the tougher president, because he ought to tell us something. We are talking outside the house. The neighbors are talking outside the house. We need to get into the house and be able to talk. But as we wind up, I'd like to give the opportunity to our president for FEAFFA make his final remarks and the message to the Tanzanian government on behalf of the FEAFFA members in East Africa.
Yeah. First of all, we have already said this is a very unfortunate situation, a situation that we never anticipated to happen, especially when Charles tells you he was there when the first East African community collapsed. So we get worried what will happen. So my call as the president of the federation would be to call upon the authorities in Tanzania to suspend this regulation in the interest of the unity that we have been enjoying, in the interest of the various laws that were put in place, to which they assented to, so that we can have a discussion which could be headed by the East African Community Secretariat, like Charles has said. East African Community is they have all sorts of personnel including lawyers and administrators. I'm sure they would generate a discussion. There is the EABC. I'm sure it would come handy. So for me, that's the message that I have for Tanzania. And for our members, we are saying, please keep calm as we try to navigate through these dirty waters. But we believe at the end of the day, we shall definitely have a solution. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you, elders, Charles, and Sam, and John Bosco, who was with us but had to leave. I'm very grateful that you are able to participate in the Freight Logics Hub podcast, and I'm praying that we'll have more opportunity to be able to discuss these issues that affect the running of our businesses in this part of the world. As we wind up, I would like to talk to our listeners. I want to talk to our members. And I want to ask them, what are your thoughts in this matter? Because those who have been speaking are your representatives. But you as a businessman who is watching this podcast, what is your thought? Should regional policy override national law? Or is Tanzania right to prioritize its citizens? Asking you to join the conversation and make your comments. And we'll be able to read them next time when you come on board. But as we come to the end, I just want to thank the panelists again. The president of FEAFFA, Charles, and that name, my senior Sam Njoroge, and our senior most, Sir Charles Kareba.
Yeah.
Thank you. And Sir Charles, we just want to wish you well as you recover. You don't look sick until you show us how sick you are, but for now, you are very well. We wish you well. Thank you, everyone. Members of the fraternity, please like, share your thoughts, and we'll continue to be representing you as we tell the history of freight logistics in East Africa and the rest of the world. Bye. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.